But let's talk for just a moment about 3 of the ways that you can protect yourself and your team without damaging the size of the success or pulling the bar down. First of all, when you protect your team from the likelihood of failure, it's different than protecting it from the magnitude of failure. Let me explain. It is perfectly natural to try to keep failure from happening, right? That makes good sense. When you protect yourself and your team from the likelihood of failure, you're doing all the wise things in the interest of success. It's only when you start protecting yourself by affecting the magnitude of failure that you damage your prospects of success. Let me give you an example from another situation. My son is a climber. Okay, so he's loves to get out there on a big rock face in the middle of Colorado in situations that I find just terrifying. And he is a careful and wise climber, so he regularly protects himself from the prospect of some horrible fall that could be really damaging, right? Now, what I mean by that is he makes use of every sort of piece of equipment that he can use. The carabiners, he's got skills, he clips in, he does all the things that he needs to do because he's protecting himself from the likelihood of a fall. Now that's different than protecting yourself from the magnitude of a fall. Because if you wanted to protect yourself from the magnitude of the fall, you'd protect yourself by not climbing a high cliff, you'd just climb to the top of a 6 to 8 foot ladder. You see the difference? One of them is protecting yourself from the fall by addressing the likelihood of it. The other is addressing the magnitude of it. Now, when you're addressing this with your team and you're thinking about goals and those sorts of things, you want to do everything you can to address the likelihood of failure. You want to take wise actions. You want to plan ahead. You want to make sure that you're well resourced, that you anticipate things, that you think strategically. These are things that adjust the likelihood of failing, and it's your natural responsibility to do that. But don't protect yourself by adjusting the magnitude of the failure, because if you do that, that means you've decided, this is pretty risky. If this doesn't work, we're going to have a terrible reputation. And so, what I think we should do is let's not shoot quite as high. Right? That's pulling down the magnitude and actually harming the prospect of success. This principle explains why, people aren't spending a lot of time taking selfies at the top of 6 or 8 foot ladders. Because look, when you want to achieve a great success that you're proud of, that you can brag about, that you can walk a little taller about, that is a big deal, it comes with the commensurate risk of that same height. So protect your team by addressing the likelihood of failure, not the magnitude.